Hello everyone, Dave here from EchoCycle. As you know, we're all pretty passionate about racing. I mean, who wouldn't be? And as you know, we have a pretty awesome road race team. So what we wanted to do is gather them here at the shop and ask them a few questions about how the heck did they get into racing, and a lot of times you guys want to know how, so here it is. All right, well, thank you for coming. I want to start with your name and what is it that you're currently racing for us?
My name is Scott Ferris, and I've been racing the Aprilia RSV4RR.
My name is Owen Albaba, and I race a 2013 MV Agusta F3.
My name is Joe Zook, currently 24 and I'm racing a 2015 Kawasaki 300.
My name is Glenn Gregoire and I'm on a 2011 ZX-10R.
So my name is Justin Abick. I'm currently racing a 2016 Kawasaki ZX-10.
So did you race anything else prior to street bikes?
Prior to street bikes, no. But after street bikes, I did do karting and did a bit of Formula 2000, and then came back to bikes.
What made you want to race a street bike?
Originally started, I wanted to race. I was supposed to start racing with my brother-in-law, but I was the only one who got up and did it.
It wasn't a double dare or anything?
No, it wasn't double dare.
Fair enough. So, I mean, really, does the competition really get to you sometimes, or is it pretty
Competition does get to me. It does sometimes. But then there's days when no one else matters, and I get to just go have fun.
The competition can get to you. It goes from race to race, but you try to put your helmet on and go with your race and not worry about all the other background noise.
For sure, yeah, especially on coming up to the start line on the race, in practice too sometimes, but it's more fun competition.
Yeah, definitely the first year it was pretty intimidating. Yeah, but because there's lots going on. Your first race, your heart's racing, and everyone's going all over the place because you're a novice and stuff. But kind of the second year was a lot better because I kind of found my style of riding and kind of hold my line better and stuff, and that took a lot of the stress off. Yeah, when you kind of know you can make it through here, instead of just being like, oh, I'm in the
just the confidence.
Yeah, exactly, definitely. Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
The games inside the paddock are always kind of entertaining. It's that is something that I've never been really great at. So that's something that I would say maybe gets to me a little bit. But the nice thing is that once I put the helmet on, it's business.
Game on.
Yeah, it's game on. It's more fun that way. So once I put the helmet on, that part is a lot more relaxed. That's for sure.
That's right. What did you start racing on?
The Kawasaki 300.
Ninja. Awesome.
Yeah, that I'm on.
So when you're out there on the track, what's
Yeah.
the best part of the racing that you enjoy?
When I'm out there, when I'm on the track, the best part is just seeing the guy in front of me and seeing if I can catch him or not. Just that kind of cat and mouse. I find that pretty rewarding. If you end up kind of with the same part of the track, and if now you're closer to the guy, it's like, oh, something's happening. I'm doing something right, and just kind of chasing and your adrenaline's going. I definitely like that when I'm out there racing.
See when the opportunity knocks.
Yeah, and then trying to find, you can catch a guy, but then trying to find a way to pass him is a whole different story. So
Awesome. So obviously you got lots of people that come out and lots of fans and stuff, but who's your biggest fan?
My biggest fan, that's obviously my mom.
My daughters are definitely my biggest fans.
I would say I don't really have a biggest fan, but my fellow racers, friends and family who come to support me.
I would say probably my biggest fan is my little girl Shay. She is all about the bike. She loves being around the bike. She loves being in the paddock. She likes being around the kids in the paddock. She just enjoys the scenery. So I'd say she's probably my biggest fan.
well, I would have to say my girlfriend Jill's probably my biggest fan.
So when you're out there ripping, I mean, you're doing crazy speeds on the straights and you're whipping it into corners and stuff like that. Is fear ever a factor for you when you're out there?
Not really, and I mean that sounds kind of odd to say, but mostly because I'm confident in what I do. I've practiced it enough, and I've spent enough time doing it that that I don't really get scared about what we're doing. There's always a little bit of intimidation with what could possibly go wrong. But once again, like when you put your helmet on, it all kind of slows down a little bit.
If you could improve something in your racing technique, what would that be?
That's pretty obvious for me, and a lot of people can contest. It's definitely my riding position.
So when you're out there racing, obviously do the nerves get to you, or is it just something that comes natural?
Yeah, for sure. I'm always nervous before any race. I would say I'm always worried about making a mistake, but once I'm actually out there, it's just the adrenaline kicks in.
Just takes over.
Yeah, it just takes over.
Nerves are, I get crazy nervous before every race, like even on race day, I'm getting pretty nervous, like a lot of butterflies. But as soon as that red light goes out and I dump the clutch, it's the nerves are gone because you got other stuff to focus on right now. But so leading up to the race and knowing while I'm going racing, I'll get a little bit nervous for sure.
Awesome.
But,
Few bathroom breaks.
There's definitely a nervous bathroom break, nervous again, and then race.
Awesome.
Absolutely. When you put 15 guys on the racetrack and everybody's shooting for the same 4 feet of asphalt, there's definitely nervous. And sitting on the grid, that split second before the light goes out, there's always nerves. 10 minutes before we actually get onto the bikes and head out, I always, I go have my nervous pee. I have my rituals that I have to do, and kind of helps kind of calm me down, and that helps settle the nerves. But for the most part, once we are riding, once the bike is moving, that's it. I don't have any issues there.
Very nervous.
Yeah.
It's a battle of nerves on almost every race day.
They do,
Yeah.
but I do have sometimes calm nerves, and sometimes I do have pretty energetic nerves, but I get my way through it.
You
all.
have energetic nerves?
Yeah, or I get a little edgy, I guess you could say.
That's awesome. So when you get on the race, you're on the grid, everything drops.
Yeah.
And you get to the first corner. Explain what that's like.
It's intense. Yeah, it's definitely intense. It's because everyone's fighting for a position. Because the further ahead you get, like if you get the whole shot, you're good. But that's less people you have to pass throughout
Yes.
the race. So you're fighting for those positions. So it's definitely intense. You're leaning in, and your shoulders pretty much rubbing a leg here, and your head is this far away from a wheel, and it's pretty good. But just hold your line.
After that first lap, it
after
usually-
everyone kind of spreads out a little bit. Actually, at the first turn, 5 is pretty bad, and then 7 is pretty intense too. But once you get back onto the main straight, everyone's kind of gapped a little bit, and it's good.
Great.
Yeah.
Tell us about the first street bike race.
Yeah.
It must have been different for you.
It was a little embarrassing because it was Honda. It was a CVR 125, I believe. Got it when I was 18, my first vehicle. And then next year scrapped it for a ZX6R.
Obviously, to help the nerves, you must have some pre-race rituals that might help.
This might sound a little bit odd, but it's actually very soothing music.
Soothing music's a little Beethoven, or
A
even
little bit slow, nothing too crazy.
excellent.
I used to have way too many pre-race rituals, but I still have a few that I do that try to
Keep it clean.
it.
Keep it clean.
Oh no, it's all clean.
Which ones would they be?
Left boot goes on first. Left glove goes on first. I have certain earplugs that I wear, purple in left ear, orange in the right.
Particularly no. I just usually have an energy drink just to make sure I'm good to go for
Any
the
plugs?
race.
Is it a Rockstar? Is it a Monster?
Have to go with Monster.
There you go. There's your plug.
I don't really have anything to. It's pretty much get nervous, go to the bathroom, get nervous. That's my ritual. But then there's always like I put my left leg in my leathers first. I always put my left boot on first. Like a couple things like that, but nothing too major. But I'll definitely notice if I'm about to put my right leg in. I'm like, nope, left leg first. Yeah.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
that's your ritual. So
Yeah.
let it go. It's working for you.
Okay. Yeah. I'll leave it as is.
So I have a certain way that I have to kind of get ready. I have certain food that I eat. I have certain things that I drink. I have to try and have my gear in a certain place. I'm a bit of a princess when it comes to how things have to be, because I have exactly I know exactly what I need and when I need to do it. I've been doing it so long that it's that repetition. So that's part of what makes me feel a little bit better going out onto the track and going and racing with those same 15 lunatics.
So obviously there's lots of proud moments in racing. If you were to go back, which one would be the proudest moment as a racer?
Proudest moment for me is actually not my highest achievement, but the when I won the intermediate championships for my class was pretty good because the family was gung ho for me, which was exciting.
What is your most intense moment in your race career so far?
Whew. I would say my most intense moment would have been the Superbike finale in 2013. Jason Kumultiki and I were racing for the championship, and the championship was at that point decided, but it was for the last race of Stratotech, and we, all the way through the race, we were neck and neck, back and forth through the entire race, and it was probably the most intense race that I've ever been a part of. And with about 5 laps to go, we had some contact, and I ended up in the grass on the inside of the straightaway at about 120, 150k an hour, and I probably could have pooped a diamond. I'm not gonna lie. there was definitely a tense moment in that helmet. So
Excellent. Well, it sounds intense. Who gives you the most support as a racer?
EcoCycle definitely gives me the biggest support, and I also get a lot of support from my friends and family in a more of an emotional way and more motivation way.
The most important support is the club itself. In Edmonton, it's definitely, you have the camaraderie of all the riders, and that's great support. And then when you're out racing somewhere else that you're not with, then it's normally whoever you're riding with.
Yeah, not by yourself. Right. Awesome.
The biggest thing I would definitely have to say would be my fellow racers, because not only do they support me when I'm actually out there racing, but especially in the pits. You know, if I need help, or you know, I'm changing my front tire and I don't have the right socket, and I can go to almost anybody and just ask for one, and they won't have a problem.
Excellent. That's what it's all about, race community, right?
Definitely support from sponsors is awesome, because racing is expensive and any help you can get is very, very much appreciated. But again, I probably have to say even like support from friends and family is pretty huge, especially like with my girlfriend Jill, because giving up some weekends, I work shift work mostly, so there's only a couple weekends off, so to let me go racing instead of doing anything else is pretty much appreciated. Yeah, so I'd have to say that's it.
the biggest thing with support for me has been the family aspect. You know, I always hope for support from my family in order to be able to do this. Without being able to have that sort of support, I would never be able to go out and race time in, time out. That's actually one of the awesome things that the EcoCycle family has been for me, is that I've had the opportunity now to be part of the EcoCycle family since 2006. And so, you know, 11 years later, it still has that family feel and that sort of that support from the family, and that's been pretty amazing for me.
So is racing something like everybody could do, or?
Anybody and everybody can do this. It doesn't matter if you're a newbie or experienced, you can definitely get into it, and you can get into it for any price point.
In the race world, there's a lot of racings going on, and obviously there's got to be somebody who has inspired you. And could you?
It's a fan favorite for most. Obviously, Valentino Rossi was a huge inspiration. Watching videos of him just going around the track, it was like artwork.
Yeah, it's really smooth. So I know we have a few guys on the race team, and sometimes we get joking a little bit about who might be a little different than others, but out of all the guys, who's the biggest princess?
Nafik, without a doubt.
Oh,
Hands down.
that's number 2.
I don't know if I know everybody well enough to know that. I know everybody would say Scott though, so I'm gonna have to go with Scott.
Fair enough.
Oh, I'd have to say Steele for sure.
For sure.
He is always strutting around the pits. Someone give me a vitamin water. My tire warmers aren't on. Someone fix that.
Oh, fair
No,
enough.
I'm just kidding. He's the nicest guy you'll ever meet. I don't even know who would be the biggest princess. It's hard to say. Maybe, I don't know. Justin's been around a long time. He might be the biggest one out there.
As much as I hate to admit it, I would say I'm probably the biggest princess.
This one here, I'm gonna put it out there. So if you could go to any track in the world, if you had that one opportunity, which one would it be?
Yeah. Well, I'm heading to Circuit of the Americas here in a month, so that's going to be awesome. I'd like to see that. But I think a track like Phillip Island would be awesome just because I like the flowy tracks. I'm a little bit better, I think, in the flowy kind of fast corners than the technical stuff. So I like how it seems to flow really nice and you got elevation changes. And I've always liked Phillip Island, so I think that would be one that I'd like to try my hand at for sure.
Agreed.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go back a little bit. So we're gonna think about your very first race and your last race. Where do you feel that you've improved the most as a racer?
I think when I first started, I wanted to ride as fast as I could, every corner. It didn't matter. I didn't think about the long game. I didn't think about a season being 10 races and having to finish every one of those to collect the points. I didn't think about it as a season, and I think that I've matured a lot in how I race because of the fact that now I think about every race as being a part of the whole. So a season and a championship is based on completing every race, not necessarily winning every race.
So strategic more than.
Absolutely. In order to finish first you must finish.
Fair enough.
That's something that
Do
I
you all
learned.
hear that? So you have to sum up racing in one word. What would it be?
Pure happiness.
Happiness.
I'm going to use two, but pure excitement.
Pure excitement. There you have it.
Memorable,
Memorable?
for sure.
That's a good answer.
I would say rewarding.
Passion. I think really that nobody's making money doing this. Nobody's doing this and going to be doing this for a living. Everybody's doing it because they love it, and I think that passion is probably the easiest way to try and sum it up in a word. And that's, I think, if you take a look at the entire team, everybody, we all share that passion, and that's sort of the common bond that holds us all together.
Excellent. Well, I mean, I'd personally like to thank you for the years that you've been part of the race team and just being part of EquiCycle and being here a lot. And we've had a lot of good times, and I look forward to more. And congratulations on your victories last year. And I look forward to 2017.
Thank you, sir.
All right.
I am more than privileged.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sounds great. Thanks,
Thank you.
appreciate it, Dave.
Yeah.